is the Vintage RPG Podcast, your source for the best in classic and contemporary RPGs. With your hosts, Hambone and Stu.
Welcome to Vintage RPG Podcast, coming at you again from the clubhouse in somewhere in the swamps in New Jersey. I'm John Hambone McGuire, and with me, as always, is the founder and publisher of Unwinnable. We're catching up because we didn't do an episode last week. Stu Horvath, how's it going, man?
Pretty good. You know, last night I went to the gym for the first time in a while.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, you know, you got to keep yourself limber. And I went late at night, and it was like windy and like it was cool. And but when I was driving home, so I go to LA Fitness down by the river. So I'm riding along the river. You know, it's sort of dramatic down there when it's dark. But I noticed all this stuff blowing around, and I realized it's tree pollen. Like there was so much tree pollen on the ground that the wind was blowing it as if it were sand on a beach. It was wild. So our swamp is very polleny at the moment.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting too, because like it is right next to the Passaic River as well. Yeah. And that area, for those who are not from our area and unfamiliar, like that area, you know, was never a bad area, but it was always kind of like eerie in a way. And it had like the creepy ShopRite and this and that. But then it became like patient zero for gentrification in Kearney. And it's just been spreading now into like East Newark and Harrison and stuff like that. So it's definitely funny now. Like it's still eerie as shit at night, but there's a Starbucks.
It's funny too, because when I was walking the kid to school today, I saw a legit jogger. Like there's people who jog around here, but this woman was like in like, you know, athletic clothes with like a headphones on, and she had like the stretch pants that had a pocket in it, like which I feel is like a serious thing. It just signals that you're more serious about what you're doing, as opposed to the guy who's like, I'm just wearing, you know, swishy pants.
Yeah.
But I met up with these other folks who's my son is friends with their son. And the dad was just like, they're coming. We're going to have an artisanal coffee shop any minute now. I was just like, why? He's like, because I saw an actual jogger. It's like, oh yeah, no, I think there might be. It's like, we're gonna get a Starbucks on this side of town.
Oh yeah, no, you see a jogger, you know it's over for your part of town. You know, like especially at night,
bread shop or something.
Oh my god, yeah, just waiting for the weed dispensary to pop up in town. That it's over.
So weird that we don't have one. North Arlington's got one, but we don't have one.
There's one in North Arlington. Where?
There is. It's right by Kamal Palace, the Indian joint.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's weird. You know, most people don't live here. So like North Arlington is the uptight town. We're in Hudson County and they're Bergen County, which is like considered like they have higher property taxes.
But you didn't hear about what happened to the Silver Bell then, huh?
Oh yeah, no, I did hear about what happened.
Okay,
we'll get to that in 1 second. But North Arlington always has its nose up in the air a little bit in regards to Kearney, even though it used to be part of what is now Kearney. Was split up, and like Arlington is part of Kearney, but North Arlington is Bergen County. Their police force is a little bit aggressive, I would say,
for a town with no crime.
Whose notable feature is a giant cemetery. Somehow they have a weed dispensary before Kearney. I mean, I think Kearney's a cool place.
Yeah.
But we're not that cool, apparently. But then, there's our old bar that we used to go to, the Silver Bell, changed. It turned into like they closed, and somebody put up a sign that said it was going to be a juice bar. And
2019.
It was that long ago?
It was right before the pandemic.
Wow. So, and it was just one of those things where it's just like, it never seemed open. Then all of a sudden it was open. And then, Hambone, you want to fill people in? So
it did finally open like 5 years later. The signage was up, everything was there. Finally opened 5 years later. And a little thing with North Arlington, because there really is no crime. Whenever there's a crime, it's kind of an overcorrection. So years ago, there was in the apartments I was thinking about moving into, like this is 9 years ago at this point, a hammer murder. The guy came back tuned up from the bar and murdered his wife with a hammer. But then about a week and a half ago, the juice bar got raided, and it ended up being a massive drug front where they seized so much fentanyl, automatic weapons, like $160K in cash. And apparently it's the whole time it's been just a front for drugs.
15 kilos of drugs and like
Holy
dozens of
shit.
weapons. And it was crazy too, because my Ice Watch group was like, is this ice? Like there's a whole bunch of like cops outside of Old Silver Bell. You know, people are on edge about that stuff around here. And everybody was like, oh wait, no, it's a massive drug raid.
It's the feds.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So yeah, North Arlington, always a massive overcorrection when it comes to crime.
But yeah, and then on top, like it's been busy around here. We had the fire, which has made some. I don't know if it's national news.
It's
but
still burning.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Did you see the video where they how it started?
No. Quick little sidebar for those who may not be familiar with this. It had to be nationally used. That across the bridge from us in Belleville, and a little over to the right, there's like an area where a lot of factories, a lot of buildings. And
they
the
call
house
it the valley for some reason, even though there's like it's just a slope that runs into the river.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's no upside. Usually, the valley is the meeting of two slopes.
Well, it is now a valley because every like building in that area has burned down. Because in Stu, you'll illuminate us in a second, like about the video that was the cause of it, but like. It started in one building, and the building had mattresses, which are just super flammable. The next building over was like a paper factory. And then on top of the building next to the paper factory was a factory that had like gunpowder. And that was it.
It's amazing. And yeah, so it was like, I think it got up to a 14 alarm fire, which I didn't realize that fire alarms got that high. I thought that we topped out at 4.
Oh no. Yeah.
But yeah, the video is crazy. It's a guy, and he's like welding. He's doing like welding work on some steel. And I guess a spark landed on a pile of mattresses, which is they're like foam mattresses. So it's basically a big pile of gasoline.
Yeah.
And like the video, I feel for the guy because like it's a factory job. His boss, like he's not making any money. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't know what the situation is, but with the people posting are just like, he should have had Firewatch on. It's just like, my friends, do you know what capitalism is like and how exploitive it is to the workers? Like, yeah, he messed up, but let's give the guy a little bit of grace. Nobody died in this thing.
Also, why was someone filming it?
I don't know. I think it might just be like a room camera or something.
Okay,
but even still, it's weird. But it is impressive how like he basically turns away and it's like beat, and this spark turns into like a good wizard orb size of fire, and then like 2 more beats, the entire pile of mattresses is like a raging inferno.
It's crazy, man.
It's less than a minute, the video that I saw, and it's just, it's crazy. It's still burning. And,
shout out to all the local fire departments who were there holding it down, because like this is like city block burned to the ground.
Yeah.
Like a whole ass block, and it's still going, like to the point where they're bringing in construction equipment to pull out the stuff that they've already put out so they can get access to the stuff that they couldn't get to yet. Because it's such like an industrial area. God, it's crazy. Like, if you basically, they said, hey, if you're in Belleville and you call 911, no, you didn't. It's going to take longer for anyone to get to you because we're routing you to Nutley, the next town over. But schools are still closed because of it. It's nuts.
Yeah, they turned the power off voluntarily.
For
at least 2 days. It's just wild. But the funny thing is, I heard the sirens all day on Sunday, and was dimly aware that something was going on. But I didn't see smoke, and I didn't smell it, which, considering what was probably in the air, the wind is an amazing thing, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Yes, seriously. Yeah. Like, because honestly, it was like this just giant black plume in the sky. Like, crazy. But that's
this was a great episode of the North Jersey News Watch, local news, and we'll see you next time, folks.
Yeah. Well, anyway, while this was happening, the day before this happened, I did go to a convention. I want to shout out to DM West, ClearCon, nice small convention in a church, just like we do when we do Geek Flea. Yeah, man, played some games, caught up with some people. It was very nice time. Had banging quesadillas at this taco house around several blocks away from it. So shout out to the taco house. I was definitely like chill when I ran that game of Shadow Dark. But yeah, man, we're about to enter if you were in the, I gotta shout some people out real quick. If you're in the northern New Jersey area, anywhere between Baltimore and Massachusetts. A lot of conventions going on coming up right now. You have going into, see, this episode is going to drop on the 11th. So weekend of the 22nd and 23rd, if you are down in the Baltimore area, Game Face Convention is one of the best smaller conventions you will ever go to in your life. Justin Sorois from Sever Books puts it on. Ton of great creators down there, ton of great indie games. There's a bar, there's a food truck normally, and there's an arcade built into the same place. So it's a super fun place to hang out. If you're kicking it virtually, Brian Shutter's got Neon Con 3D going on, where you can go to a virtual convention, play some games with some cool people. The next weekend, if you're in Massachusetts, ModCon is happening. Now, what's really exciting about ModCon, it's in Northampton, Massachusetts, the 30th. It's a one-day convention, and they're doing something unique up there. It's Jason and the people over at Solarian putting it on. It's all newer games, all new indie games, all modern games, which you don't normally get at conventions. It's always, there's, and again, shout out to all the old grogs out there, but there's always a disproportionate amount of older games versus new games. So if you're looking to try something new and you're in distance of Northampton, Massachusetts, on the 30th is ModCon. And then if you're in Jersey, down in Vineland, the 29th, 30th, and 31st, Concoction. Our friends who put on Page, putting on another convention called Concoction. That's going to be rocking and rolling all weekend long. So I'm encouraging people just to get out there, man. Get out in the world, roll some dice, make some friends, make some memories, eat some snacks whilst out in the world, because snacks taste differently when you're not home.
Is that true?
I feel like they do. They're at least more expensive.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, you're gonna pay more for snacks out in the world. Yeah, what else? I finally, I have, for all intents and purposes, completed my collection of Daniel Cohen books on odd topics. Yeah, it happened. It's funny. I went through his, his lists of books that I found online, and I added a couple, bringing the grand total of the list on the website up to 90 volumes.
I was going to say, that's no small feat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not like people are clamoring for most of these. Shit,
that's like a Babysitter's Club amount of like volumes.
Yeah, and a lot of cool covers. A lot of hardcovers. But there's one that I'm still missing. It's America's Very Own Monsters, which does seem to actually be reasonably rare, and because of that commands more money than I'm willing to pay for it when I've paid like $7 a volume for most of these. Especially because it tends to be an X Library book, and I can't spend a lot of money on an X Library book.
Definitely not.
I mean, sometimes there are books that were just library books, like those Crestwood House books. I mean, even them, like the Crestwood Monster books with the orange spines and stuff, like they're great, and I love them. But I'm not going to spend $3 on them. Like,
no.
It's just crazy, but they are legitimately rare and desirable. So like, they kind of like, the prices are ridiculous, but also like understandable. But yeah, so and then I was just I was sad that I got all of the Daniel Cohen books. So I went back in again and I dug up one more that I could, called Monster Dinosaur, which is really just a dinosaur book.
Awesome. And
I added that. So it's a grand total of 90. I'm at 90 out of 91. I bought one more. It's just like I'm going to miss buying Daniel Cohen books. So let me see if there's one more that I could possibly justify.
Are any of these like repackages? Like they were like other books, and now they're like kind of like, oh, now we compiled like all these books together. These are all just like legitimate standalone. Like this is the book.
Some of his books got multiple printings. A couple of them were repackaged. Like Mysterious Places was republished as Lost Worlds. This is the Way the World Ends. Got published later again under the title Waiting for the Apocalypse. And I've discovered those things just in time, basically. So I don't care about having one of everything. I care about having one of every unique thing. So like, even though I don't have the variants, and actually it saved me, because one of the ones that I was missing is The Headless Roommate, which is a collection of urban legends. And that is also one that is like, sort of like, there's not a lot of them, and it is more money than I want to pay. But I found out that one of the crummy paperbacks that I have, which is called like Tales of Darkness or something, is actually just a straight reprint of that. So like it
Okay.
saved. Once I figured that out, I was like, all right, I'm done. Like, it's a significant amount of shelf space. I had to rearrange a little bit to make room for everybody, but it's all done. And now I'm working on I did a bibliography of all the other high volume monster writers, which I published on Saturday. So I'm sort of working through picking out the ones that I really want from them. So you can read that on the site. It's called The Monster Hunters. And now I'm working on another one, which is sort of like a catch-all for everything that is not contained within those two other bibliographies. It's a whole lot of research aids for people that are me, basically. I'm compiling this stuff too late for my own researches, but if I get into like an Edge of Tomorrow kind of scenario, at least these stories will be there waiting for me, and it'll be easier to track down Daniel Cohen's books when I restore the save game or whatever.
That's smart. That's a power move.
A lot of weird assumptions in that, but
Listen, man, at this point, who's to say,
I read a thing where apparently everybody's consciousness is different. We're all different people. We know that. But in a neurological sense, in terms of like brain waves and how your brain is functioning, we are all identical when we're sleeping.
Really?
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know how true that is. I really just read it in passing, and I was just like, oh, that's an interesting thing that I'll look up some other time if it sticks in my brain long enough. But the idea of that is sort of delightful, that we are all the same when we're asleep.
I like that, because they say like there's 1,000 different versions of us because every person who we come in contact with has their own perception of who we are.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's definitely commonalities. There's definitely like, through lines that like everyone's like, oh yeah, Hambone is this, but to each individual person, there's a 2 millimeter difference. There's a marked difference in some ways, versus like, when you're sleeping and everyone's the same. So definitely very interesting. Man, we are going like real heady on this episode. I love this. Our listeners are
desperation,
probably
desperation.
Well, speaking of some fun things
to talk about.
Yeah, I know. No, listen, there's been some cool stuff that's happened. I guess I bought a button maker because I thought we had a button maker in the house, and the last time I remember seeing it was 10 years ago.
I think that's my button maker you're thinking of.
No, it was Mary Beth's button maker.
Right on.
Yeah, it was Mary Beth's button maker, and I guess we ultimately gave it back to Mary Beth. So I bought a new button maker, $30 on Amazon. It was great. Nice. And again, like I'm not trying to support Amazon, but I needed a button maker on the fly because I was going to the convention and I wanted to make pins that like, cause I always heard like these like stories that, if you played with like certain creators, like Jim Ward, right? Mm-hmm. You died, he'd give you a pin that said Jim Ward killed me or something like that. So, Sally had drawn a picture of me that was on the cover of one of the books, and I took it and I put it on a pin that said "Death by Hambone," and then another pin that was a different colorway that said "I survived Hambone."
Yeah.
So like I'm like, yeah, man, I want to go to conventions. Like if you play a game with me, I got a pin for you. And also button makers are cool, man. Like Sally and I just sat around the other day, like, with old like magazines and books and stuff that we had that were like old Fangorias and stuff that like, it's just, we're never going to read these again. They're just sitting there collecting dust. And it's like, well, now we're going to make buttons. So
yeah, nice.
doing button makers, folks.
I mean, part of what I like about miniature painting is like less the specific painting of the miniature and more like the repeating of the process.
Oh yeah.
And I think that like there's something to be said. Like I was cutting down. So many people yelled at me in the Discord when I was talking about climbing this tree. It was very sweet because they're obviously concerned about my safety. Oh, yeah. But they also have no idea how short this tree is. But so they're just like, you need a climbing harness. I was like, literally, it was not above 2 feet at any given time.
Yeah.
But I cut out a bunch of dead wood from the pussy willow tree in the back, and so that means we have these big boughs like laying in the patio, and it's really kind of cool. Like there's something about that manual labor, the repetitive manual labor, where like once you get into the groove, you're not aware of what you're doing anymore. So I've been like chopping it up, and like it's been really great thinking time because like it unclutters my mind.
Oh yeah,
my body is doing something, but my brain is allowed to wander, and I find it very peaceful. I've read that about the living history places. There's one out, or there used to be one in Wheaton, New Jersey, and I think that there was an article where the woman was like, candle making seems like it's such a drag, but like it was just like it like frees your mind, and like you develop this rich inner life, while doing all of this manual labor that you think is sort of punishing. But if you do it in a comfortable way, and like you don't like overdo it, like you can
Oh
kind of
yeah.
like do it, and like it because I think that there's something to Sally's been doing the embroidery and the cross stitch. Like my mom did cross stitch while watching TV for many years,
That's what Sally does.
and
Yeah.
it's the same sort of thing. It's like it's a thing that like it allows you to, like, you're active, and because you're active, your mind wanders in a cool way, not like being stuck on a telephone. We're scrolling, doom scrolling is what the kids call it.
Doom scrolling for sure. It's Bible to brick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. God, I got a new phone. I'm so angry about it. My phone was old. It was a Samsung G21 5G, 21S 5G. It's got to be 6 years old, 7 years old. It was great.
Which is like in dog years the way phones age.
Yeah, but like the thing is that they kept updating it, but like the tech specs were such that I was not getting like the full upgrade. I was getting just the necessary upgrades. So like all of the apps that piggyback on the OS weren't able to do all of their stupid shit. And now I got the battery replaced because my battery was draining, which is something that happens with old phones. They didn't have it at the certified Samsung place down by the river, so I went to the place around the corner and they replaced it, and it was fine. And then the screen died, and it was probably an easy fix, but it would have required me going back to that place and being like, "Hey, could you open it up and like mess with the connections again so the screen works again?" And yeah, that would have been great. Except when I went back on Monday, they were on vacation for 2 weeks, and it's just like there's no way that I could just live without a phone for 2 weeks. Like I do a pretty good job of not being on the phone, but 2 weeks is asking too much. And it was just like, ugh. So I went and I bought a new phone, or I got a new phone, the layaway plan. But
yeah.
But now it's like everything is. It took a whole day, all Monday last week, I spent setting up the new stupid phone. Part of that was because I couldn't move the stuff off my old phone easily because the screen was dead. So it was a black screen, but the touch interface still worked and it was still on. So I had to figure out a way to cast that to a TV while using the touch. So I eventually had it plugged into my big TV downstairs, and was like had the screen on the TV, but was looking at my blank phone trying to tap the right spot to get it to like confirm that it would do the transfer. That took up a lot of time, and I went to Target twice to buy cables, and I don't really like going to Target because I don't like their politics. So I've been trying to boycott them, but like sometimes you just need a USB 3 to HDMI cable, and you can't go anywhere else. Like it was very frustrating. But I got but I used to be excited. You can tell that I'm aggravated because I can't speak. I'm stuttering. I used to be excited to get a new phone because it was like the promise of the new technology and all the doodads it was going to do. And there's some cool stuff about this phone, but for the most part, it was a process of me turning shit off. So much AI garbage. I turned off notifications for all but a few apps because I don't need them. I don't care. I open Discord enough that I don't need notifications pinging me all the time, like distracting me, grabbing my attention. But now my phone is just like, hey, you turned off all these notifications. Here's a notification asking you, are you sure you want all those notifications? It's like, fuck yes. I physically turned those things off purposefully.
Yep.
Like the thing is, it's too big. The phone is gigantic. Everything.
Give me a phone that has GPS, a way to play music, and make calls and send texts. I will take a flip phone back in a heartbeat. I'll do it. I would love a burner phone. And also, I just want to say, like, if this is your first time listening to the Vintage RPG podcast, we do talk about games. I swear to God, like next week we'll be back talking about like normal bullshit. But yeah, you know, it's something.
Sometimes you just gotta vent about life. It's cool. There is a cool thing at the end of the day. When I was done, I was like, what's this button on the bottom that the case isn't covering? And I pushed it, and out comes a stylus that's hidden inside the body of the phone. And I thought, well, that's pretty cool. And I do enjoy browsing this gigantic vista of a screen using a stylus, but also at the same time, it's not an efficient way to use my phone.
No.
Like I'm much faster with my thumbs.
Yep.
So I have this thing where I've been like, I'm going to like pull the stylus out and browse with the stylus for a bit. And all I'm doing is making it worse for myself because I like playing with the doodad. But that is cool. And the sound is sort of better because there's two speakers instead of one. But like how often am I listening to my phone play without like Bluetoothing into a real stereo, you know?
What a world, man. What a world. So yeah, I mean, I feel like this is probably a pretty good time to go home. Real quick, a couple things to shout out. Hambone's crowdfunding corner. By the time you're listening to this, it is OSC month. Our friend Tiger Wizard has a awesome game about demonic adventures for old school essential system that takes a party into a small pocket dimension of hell. It's a little Hellraiser, a little Silent Hill thrown into the slaughterhouse sausage called Abattoir Hymnal. I think it's Avatar. That's how you say that word. Avatar.
Yeah.
Avatar Hymnal. Yeah. It's awesome. It'll probably be fun by the time you listen to this. And you should definitely check it out because it's going to have some killer art. It's going to have some killer writing. And, it's for the old school essentials and people like that. Our friend Justin Soroyce from Several Books has a new party game called Vampire Farts. And yes, that is exactly what I said. It's called Vampire Farts. It is a pressure luck game. You're a vampire. You got to eat a well-rounded meal to fart the most succulent fart imaginable. You're going to feast on various different people of varying tastes, which are number values. And at the end of the round, the highest value wins. It is a super, super, super fun party game. It's fast. It's loose. The art is great. And it's about, trying to get some solid vampire farts. So definitely check that out. Both are on BackerKit. Both worth checking out. If you're on BackerKit, until the 22nd, I will be funding my Dark Double feature for Shadow Dark RPG. I've been running it at cons. It's been an absolute blast. I'd love if you checked it out. And that's all the promotion I've got for today. And this has been another amazing episode of the Vintage RPG Podcast. Stu, where can people find you on the internet?
They can find me at vintagerpg.com. As I said, the Daniel Cohen bibliography is up, as is the Monster Hunters bibliography that covers Bernhardt Herwood, Nancy Garden, George S. McHargue, David C. Knight, and Thomas G. Aylesworth, who were also big features of my public library experience in the 80s. And you can check that out. And I'm working on another one called Travelers by Night, which will be up whenever I finish it. It's going to be probably the largest because it's sort of catching all of the other interesting monster books and books about the unexplained that I have or want to have. Yeah.
Very quick, you can find me across the internet at John McGuire RPG and posted a bunch on Instagram and on the Blue Sky. Also, definitely check out analogunion.com. It's our newsletter. Me and a bunch of other really cool creators putting out more than just a sales pitch every week, talking about some cool stuff as well. It's a great off-ramp from the internet. analogunion.com. Sign up for the newsletter today. If you like the show, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Your reviews really do help other listeners to find us. If you really like the show, why not become a patron? Patreon.com/vintagerpg. We got a lot of cool stuff going on over there, including a killer Discord community that really is an oasis from the rest of the world. We'd love for you to be a part of it. For as little as $1 a month, you get early release episodes sometime between Friday and Sunday, depending on when we record them during the week. Patreon.com/vintagerpg. So for Stu Horvath, I'm John Hambone McGuire. May the dice always roll in your favor. Thanks for listening. The Vintage RPG Podcast is a ham-fisted production. Music by Dead Go West. Art by Schaefer Brown. Edited by R. Alex Murray. Check us out at vintagerpg.com.